Want to talk about time capsule and God's deep underground military bases, basically. Okay, there's these different secret orders of people who recorded the Bible, man. There's Aramaic, Greek, and Hebrew. So you can probably find different sects that chronicled the doctrine in that language in different areas. There's these dudes called the Messara, I think, and it's something they recorded every single word, Masoretic. I think there's Strong's concordance or something to do with them. There's something called the Sopharim or something, or the Sepharim or something like that. And these guys were, uh, they would count, like, for some reason there's something about the count, the numbers. They're the people who numbered all the scriptures. And then there's someone called the Essenes, and I can't remember what their thing was, other than I think they hid in caves and they buried scrolls, ancient, accurate scrolls, like just like the King James. It was the King James almost in the original text. You know what I'm saying? It's just these are the texts that they used to translate the King James version when the Dead Sea Scrolls happened, or look, when they were found. See, what happened was a bomb went off. Wait, no, see, chaos theory. A butterfly's flapping its wings here creates a typhoon in Asia. You know what I'm saying? So they set a bomb off here in the Middle East. Fucking cave opens up. Someone finds a cave and they bust open a pot that was sealed and it had Bibles in it. You know what I'm saying? So that's these are like time capsules. I mean, I even heard an Indian legend that there's supposed to be a cave on the side of a big hill, and it's got a birch bark scroll in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's just that could. I'm just saying, for instance, I heard that. I can't say if that's true or not, or if that someone just is trying to. They made a make you feel good type story to keep you wondering. But you know, you look at the Hopi, Blue Star, Kachina, Red Star, Kachina. These things. It's interesting to look at the Bible, look at that, and like the Daniel, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Jesus, Revelations, kind of schematic Song of Moses. All these things are all connected. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it lines up pretty good with some of the stuff. It doesn't deviate much from the scripture itself. But I'll just say I haven't actually looked over it enough to say for sure, though. I just, from what I've seen of it, what's been presented to me, let me put it that way. But anyway, the deep underground, God's underground bases. I mean, for instance, there's in Ethiopia, there is a monolithic, like, sandstone, limestone, carved out area, like giant cathedral back there, and it's the Ethiopians, and there's and these are the Jewish Ethiopians, basically, or whatever described in the Bible, because they were there. There was times where the kings of Israel went to Ethiopia. They had close PR many times, so it's established. Moses' wife, Ethiopian. Let me think. What's the other? Look, when Paul, as soon as Paul, I think, is converted, or someone, or Barnabas, or someone, they see the Ethiopian in a cart, and it says he's the Ethiopian eunuch, and the Ethiopian eunuch says, "Yeah, I am a Jew, and I follow all the statutes anyway." And the dude says, "Well, will you be baptized in Jesus?" And the dude's like, "Yeah, I will. I do believe this." Straight away, the dude was baptized. So this is why this is connected, because they have a similar kind of that function with this giant monolithic cathedral out in the middle of the freaking nowhere. And time capsules. See, here's the thing. These days, it'd be good to. It's a good time to put out time capsules. Because the other day I seen that there was a ghost town with a time capsule in it. And they're waiting to a certain date to go crack it open. That had me thinking. And then just like the bomb going off, the atomic bomb in Roswell. No, the same year the Roswell happens, the bomb happens. Dead Sea Scrolls get found in a cave inside of a freaking pot, inside a pottery. And these secret groups. Here's another thing. In Rome, they also had to have a secret service, I guess, to fellowship with one another in the days when Rome, when they were all outlaws, basically. They'd have to meet up in weird spots at weird times. It wasn't your regular scheduled church. It wasn't your regular type of church. It was church on the run, church on the fly, the fluid moving church. You know what I'm saying? This church that existed but didn't exist in a way. You know what I'm saying? The building didn't exist, but yet it is a building. It's like a moving, flowing. It's literally like a body. Like I think it's described. That makes sense to me. That's like when you're under such harsh scrutiny, wouldn't you grow that much close to your companions and your neighbor that just to do things that they're not harming anyone anyway. If you just let them go do what they need to do, go pray, go meet together, go do what they need to do for God. That shouldn't even be. That's not even a burdensome thing to ask a leader to allow. You know what I'm saying? But yet they make it such a big deal now. And that's why I look at some of these covert practitioners. You know what I'm saying? That look, they diligently kept the word and they hit it, and look, and it was successful. We got it. It worked. The time capsule got to us. Like, look, that was God fighting against the Terminators. Like, you Terminators don't know about this because I kept it a secret. You know what I'm saying? Them T1 fucking thousands, man, that went back and became the gods of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And then they cloned fucking Akhenaten and made him, King Lizard. Yeah, man. Truth is stranger than frickin' friction. Wait, fiction. And here's another thing about that. I mean, in all actuality, me growing up, dude, I've been in trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? And listen, here's the thing. Why do people get addicted to trouble? Because the excitement. Because the fact that you're in very real freaking danger gives you a kind of a kick, a rush. And it makes it seem more important than it is. But then when you start doing something like this, like these guys could get their freaking heads chopped for copying the same thing, Inquisition. They would chop your freaking head if you tried to translate that freaking Latin to English, so the common dude could understand it. You know what I'm saying? And listen, that's another way that God reels us in, is because look, once you realize how real this is, how real the war, how real the battle is, how strategic it's been, it's quite exciting. It's like when you read the Chronicles and the Kings, and there's all these fights and these war chronicles. It is so exciting. It's exciting to hear about people healed and set free too. But it was also exciting to hear these. There was a lot of action. I mean, in between the lines as well as in the lines. You know what I'm saying, of the scripture. So, same thing. Same thing with all scripture. The scripture is clear and it clarifies itself, but it also says a lot in between the lines, and that can't be denied. Anyone who would dispute that doesn't have a they don't they're it's like some people go way too shallow, never go deep. Some people go deep, never come back to the shallows. It's like, look, if you can swim in the shallows or the deep. You shouldn't get stuck. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like the head or the tail, man. It's still both part of the bigger whole. But yeah, man. Basically, archiving is was a real diligent task that was employed to certain secretive groups back in the day. And I mean, I'm sure this still goes on to an extent, but how many of these people are still true to the code, to God's code, not to the traditions of men? I don't know. I'm sure God's got to have a hidden few out there doing probably not much different from what they did back then. And I mean, like, some things change, some things don't. Life in the desert is life in the desert. You know what I mean? But the desert, these caves in the desert, do preserve the freaking paper. Just like the mummies and shit. See, that's the heathen create mummies, but like God's people keep the word. You know what I'm saying? And whether it's in their heart, but I mean, I'm sure there's a few Bibles around, as well. I mean, you should have a nice. You could test a man's how much you like the Bible. Well, how much of it do you remember? How much have you contemplated? How much have you considered? Uh, what what's your motivations behind speaking about it? Is it just to look good, or are you sincerely interested in mutual growth and uh joy in it? When you see someone else who enjoys it just as much as you, what a great thing that is. That's like when you talk to people who read the book. It's like you read, or it's like you're speaking a different language, because the people who don't read can never have discussion about a book. See, it's like each person themselves has to go read the book and retain as much of it as their brain will allow, or whatever. But I love to have discussions about books, and when people tell me how they took it, or what I'm saying, what they think it meant, or what jumped out at them, stuff like that. And it's like it's a deeper level of the book. It's more than just the knowledge of the book. See, now there's a deeper growth there when you have multiple people that have studied something. And you know what I'm saying? It's just such a wonderful thing. It was almost like there's a couple books where this dude kept writing. He kept saying, I find no greater joy than to hear that the children be walking in truth. And it's kind of like that. It's like, look, the truth is, you must have read the book if you can actually discern it for people. And look, and you can recite it to the best of your memory. I mean, see, that's some of these guys that recorded these things from a young age. They were taught it word for word and to remember it. And these are thousands of words. That's not easy. I mean, I used to write lyrics for songs, and I've remembered thousands of words in certain harmonies and rhythms, man. But no one has ever tried to make me go that hard into look that much into the word. No one. I wasn't growing up to have that. Wasn't a thing we had to do. But as an adult, I would like to know as much as I can, and I have to keep myself motivated. But same thing. So in a way, we do the same thing as they did, but we gotta recite it from the best of our can as we can from our memory. But I'm sure if you kept doing it long enough, you could probably recite it line for line, word for word, book for book, all the way through from front to back with no error. But that's such a high freaking level. You would need to live in a freaking cave for like 20, 30 years to actually accomplish that. But it could be done. And God, I believe God does have certain people that, that's uh they're supposed to chronicle the accounts. You know what I'm saying? And we're supposed to chronicle the account too. Why? Because what happened in Egypt? Well, God split the sea and he brought the plagues. You know what I'm saying? He delivered Daniel from the lion. He brought Abraham out the land of his fathers. He chose Jacob over Esau. Uh, Cain killed Abel. Noah was saved from the flood. You know what I'm saying? Look, see, I can recite the history. Joseph was sold into slavery to Egypt, but yet became the deliverer of his people who sold him there. You know, it's how it works.